23 years coach. It's a long time and a lot of wins. It's the great Dan Reeves with us here on Tiki and Tierney. Dan, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, guys. How are y'all today?
We're doing okay. And, of course, Dan joins us on the Ring Central hotline. And Ring Central providing easy-to-use cloud phone solutions for your workforce and business communications made simple. For more information, go to ringcentral.com. So, I don't know. I heard the Jaguars and the Rams were thinking about calling you there, Coach Reeves. Any interest in coming back, doing some coaching?
No, I don't think so. My phone hadn't been ringing off the hook anyway, that's for sure.
Well, at least you picked it up when we called. That's
Yeah,
a good
exactly.
sign there.
Coach BT's joking with that, but Coach Coughlin, who's about the same, he's a little bit younger than you, but he's still, I think, close to 70, if not 70 already, is in the conversation to get that head coaching job. How hard would it be for him at 70 to be a head coach in the NFL?
Of course, I think that's one of the mistakes that, if you can call it a mistake, that's made. It seems like when you get enough, to know about the game and you get enough experience and so forth, and you think you're ready to be a head coach in the league, all of a sudden you're too old. I don't agree with it, but they are definitely looking for younger people, and a lot depends on your health and also how excited you would be to get back into doing it. There's no question he's a great football coach, and if he's interested in doing it, he would do a great job. As you know, he's a very competitive person.
Yeah, no, he's got a fire about him. When I think about, what the Jacksonville Jaguars need, and this is kind of irrespective of Tom Coughlin, when I think about what the Jaguars need, it feels like discipline is something that is paramount. What do you think happened with Gus Bradley down there? Because he feels like that kind of coach, but it just didn't translate.
Yeah, it's so difficult. I was at 3 different places, and usually when you get a head coaching job, it's because something's wrong, something's not happening right, and it's the whole organization working together. The coach gets a lot of credit and also a lot of blame, but it's the whole organization. It's trying to get everybody on the same page moving forward. I was fortunate enough, to be with an organization at the Dallas Cowboys for 16 years, and they had everybody. Coach Landry get a lot of credit, but Gil Brandt and Tex Ram, right on up to the ownership, just did a great job, and that's what it takes. And I was fortunate that when I went to Denver, everything was in place, and they had great ownership and did everything they could to help. And the same thing in New York, we turned it around, had a good year. They already had good players there. It's just getting everybody on the same page. So same thing in Atlanta. The organization, nobody was looking for, the credit. They just wanted to get the job done.
I mean, obviously, Dan, you get to this level to coach, and we're talking to the great Dan Reeves with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio. I mean, the fact that football is pretty much a given. So what is the one distinguishing characteristic that you really believe separates the good coaches from the great coaches?
Well, first of all, you win because you got great players, and that's the key. You got to do a great job of picking the right people. People that are very unselfish. Same thing we were talking about with the organization. Everybody that's willing to, play together. Tiki will tell you, you can have a lot of great players, but if they're going and doing their own thing and not playing together as a team, it's very difficult to be fortunate. So you got to have, good players that are very unselfish, and that to me is the key.
Dan, when I think about your tenure with the Giants and with the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos, there was always, an attitude of running the ball. It was getting downhill. It was controlling the regular first and second downs, field position, all those things. The game has changed so much. Do you still enjoy it, watching it the way that it is now? Because it feels so spread out. I mean, my Giants, they're 5 wide most of the time. I never see a fullback.
And they still can't score.
Yeah, exactly. So do you enjoy the game now as it's played as opposed to how it used to be?
Well, I think, Tiki, you and I both would agree it'd be a great time to be a running back because tackling is a lost art. It's hard to get better at something that you can't practice. You get better at things because you're able to do it in practice. And with all the rules that they have now, then certainly even the rules have been changed to help the offense. I don't know how you play defense anymore. The passing game is the one thing that you can work on as far as receivers and quarterbacks full speed and get the timing down, those guys up front, have a tough time, as far as pass protection because, they don't practice those skills, as much either. And only time they do it really is in the game. But I love watching it. I mean, it's fun to watch because, everybody's on the same page. But I think the game has digressed a little bit as far as the fundamentals are concerned. Football has always been about blocking and tackling, and it's hard to do that if you don't, practice it.
Dan, I think a lot of the conversation right now around the NFL is specific to teams that are viewed as truly Super Bowl contenders, Super Bowl viable. Obviously, Dallas has earned the right to be in that conversation right now because the Giants have beaten them twice, and because the Giants have won twice with Eli. The Giants are there. Aaron Rodgers getting hot at the right time. I feel like, though, people are in large part ignoring the Falcons, and I think it might be to their detriment. I look at their offense, how they could run the ball with two people. They've got multiple wide receivers. They've gotten tougher in the trenches. I think that this is a year the Falcons could beat anybody and maybe get to Houston and get to the Super Bowl, but yet people aren't really throwing them in the conversation. Why not?
Well, I agree with you. They are an outstanding offensive football team. Their defense is young. It's getting better. How much better, it's going to get. They've relied a great deal on getting turnovers, particularly in the last couple of weeks. And, if you get to, if you win a turnover margin by 5, you're going to win and beat anybody. There's no question. But that's the weakness of their football team, and I think it is getting better. How much better, can they get on defense? It's going to be a real key for them.
Dan, you're on the board of directors of the After the Impact Fund, and it takes some of the most dire military veterans and pairs them with former players. Tell us what you have going on, because this is it's interesting, and obviously with some of the tragedies we've seen both of our vets and some of our former players, this is important.
No question. I think it's a great thing. Mike Ditka started helping veteran players, with the Gridiron Greats, and he helps them with the dire needs that they need, food, help, clothing, that kind of thing. But there's a missing link there, and that was the medical part of it. And, the Eisenhower Center came together, and, they brought the Gridiron Greats together and started working with the military and the football players to try to handle these medical problems that we're having and, take care of some of these suicides that are going on. And they've had a lot of luck bringing the two of them together because they got so much in common, having problems after they get through, and get out of the military, when they get out of football, what to do. And, there's a lot of things to deal with, and it's just a great, combination of having, football players and veterans come together.
That's
and, had a lot of success, and we got a long ways to go. But,
mm-hmm.
People are interested in helping. They can go to gridirongreats.com and, get all the information. We need all the help we can get.
No, it's a great cause, Dan. There's no doubt about that. AfterTheImpactFund.org, another way to donate to that, and something that you believe in, something we certainly believe in, and something our country needs to do a lot better job with, no doubt. Coach, Merry Christmas to you, and I'm sure we'll talk down the road. Thank you, Dan.
All right, guys, great. Have a great day.